The Prime Minister insists the tough travel ban with India is working as the Immigration Minister seeks to smooth over tensions with community leaders. Live to our political reporter, Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, a lot of consultation going on behind the scenes. We know you've got some details, I understand, about today's roundtables.
Yeah, Ash, Immigration Minister Alex Hawke has been holding a series of virtual roundtables today with members of the Indian Australian community. This morning, holding talks with representatives from New South Wales and the ACT. Those were due to wrap in the last few moments. And also this afternoon, he'll be holding separate talks with representatives from other states. Sky News has been told by the Minister's office that to date, the feedback to him when it comes to the travel ban with India has been overwhelmingly supportive, that the Indian Australian community believe that this is needed to be put in place. The Minister's spokesman going as far as saying that there has been, quote, virtually no consternation to the tough decision. But that flies into the face of what we're seeing publicly with comments from the Indian Australian community, people in India who are stranded saying that they believe these measures have gone too far. Here was one of them on Sky News a short time ago, and the Prime Minister defending this.
If we can't protect our own Australian citizen, then why and how we actually gonna, make this things work? And I think, believe me or not, that what exactly happening, I think the failing quarantine program, this is actually the biggest problem. I think Prime Minister or the government should work on what exactly happened in the New South Wales in July back in the travel lodge. So there is some loophole that the quarantine system need to be improved. And in Indian community right now is more about that discrimination, racism, but I strongly agree it's not about discrimination and racism. But first thing we need to prioritize that how we can get our own people, Australian citizen, back home.
There is a partnership effort with India to support them as they deal with this terrible crisis. Our pause will be in place until the 15th of May, as we said, and that pause is already working. This pause is enabling us to get on the right footing to be able to restore those repatriation flights, and we're making good progress to that. We're already starting to see, as a result of the pause, the incidence of those cases at Howard Springs are starting to come down.
Now, the Prime Minister mentioning that progress that's being made at Howard Springs in terms of the number of active positive cases of COVID-19. But there could be a potential hiccup in actually getting those repatriation flights to begin from May 15, which is the date that the government continues to talk about. Now, the hurdle here really comes to the ramp up of staffing. There had been an agreement between the Territory Government and the Federal Government that they wanted to get that facility up to a capacity of 2,000 arrivals a week. But it may not be able to get there as a result of the staffing shortfalls that they're experiencing. They needed 400 staff. So far, they've only been able to recruit just over 100. CLP Senator Sam McMahon saying that could have dire consequences for COVID in the Territory.
Yeah, I mean, that absolutely can't be ramped up to the 2,000 people at the moment because of the staffing issues. Northern Territory Government is saying that they have 160 of the 400 required. Obviously, that's well short, and it would be foolish to try and ramp up the facility to 2,000 unless the required staff are there.
And Ash, we can bring you now pictures just in of the first plane load of supplies that Australia has sent to India. It left Sydney this morning, this Qantas 787. It's been loaded with over 1,000 ventilators, 43 oxygen concentrators and personal protective equipment. The real question will be, Ash, will this Qantas plane come back from India empty? There is around 200 or so seats on that plane, but with the travel ban in place, it doesn't look like the vulnerable Australians will be able to use those seats.
No, you wouldn't think so, but good to see those supplies making it on the ground there in India. No doubt they'll be gratefully received. Trudy, thank you for the update.